something that's really important to me is I have my own personal anthem, and it is am what I am by Gloria Gaynor. I discovered this song when I was actually sitting in a dentist's chair. At the time, that may seem like an odd place to be, but it really resonates with me, and it's something that I carry with me to this day. It means that I'm just an ordinary person. It does mean that there are added pressures and worries about how we can be perceived by others, but the reality is we're just people, just ordinary people who want to get on with our lives, have the same respect and the same level of decency and treatment as anybody else. When I first started transition, I walked into a doctor's surgery having found out about that I needed to do something about myself and to be true to myself and be true to who I was. And I said I would like to transition. I was told I would have to wait a long time and was asked quite a lot of questions. But from that moment on, I decided, well, I have to do this. So I started living in Roll, and it was like swimming with a load of, it was literally like going from in a paddling pool to being in the middle of a lake. It's very difficult in those early days. There's very little support. You're literally learning a whole new life, a whole new person, how to behave, how to dress, everything. It really was quite difficult. Gradually, things started getting better. I became more comfortable with myself, but all the time I was looking behind me, expecting people to be looking at me and pointing me out. And indeed, there was some of that happened, but a lot of it was in my imagination. One of the biggest things that I can say is that when people are in the early stage of transitioning, you be very supportive of them, because the slightest thing can really knock somebody out of kilter. Allows me to empathise and support people who are on the spectrum, possibly more than some of those who are not. It gives me a greater awareness of what they might be experiencing and how they might be experiencing. So if I was working with a client who was on the spectrum, I could support them better. When I was working in a previous trust, and it was actually my first day. I was asked to go and get my laptop reconfigured. So I went into our head office, I parked the car and walked into the office. Went to the reception desk, everything went very well, handed my details over and was directed over to a man who was the sort of welcoming people into the IT service desk area. He immediately said, "Yes, sir, how can I help you?" Which made me feel terrible. I corrected him. He said, "I'm sorry." And then immediately went on to say, "Okay, how can I help you then?" And that was fine. I thought he'd got it. I went up to the technician's desk. He said, "This man would like you to reconfigure his laptop." The IT technician was absolutely aghast. He looked at this man. I muttered under his breath, "Sorry," but he was obviously embarrassed, and he didn't communicate anything with me at all. He just carried on in a silence to reconfigure the laptop. I don't know. I just felt like I wanted the ground to swallow me up. So I took my laptop. I went into my car. I sat down and I cried and I cried and I cried. It was my first day on the job, and I genuinely thought, if I can't even get through to this man, it wasn't just my first day on the job, it was the first day as a professional OT. The message I want to get through is, you don't want to be that person. You don't want to make somebody feel that bad that they go home and cry. The most important thing is really just to be treated as another member of the team and respected for who I am, to be treated with fairness, dignity and decency. Because of who I am, I'm in a position where I can help others who are like, who are going through the journey and support them, and I believe that's very important. My dream, really, as I say, is that there'll be no need for any of this. That diversity will be fully accepted, respected, and will just be part of everyday life. That there will be no need for any of any form of discriminatory behaviours, any form of anything that, and everybody just gets together and we live as a community of humans with everybody's given the same level of respect